Hi guys, it's me, Alexa from Alexa Plays Games. This is the second video of a series, and while you're not really going to be lost if you don't watch it, if you like this video, make sure to also check out my take on JCT versus Tribe in the quarterfinals. Also, in case you're curious, Second has also made his own video about it, so definitely check that out too. But in this video, I have the pleasure of covering JCT's redemption arc after losing to STMN in the April qualifiers, but then redeeming themselves by making it all the way to the April 2024 monthly finals to face them once more. Making it to the monthly finals is a feat that is almost unheard of for newly formed teams such as JCT, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I love STMN. Don't tell Second, but I have their pin and their spray, see? I'm putting it back, Second, don't be mad. Please keep carrying me in ranked whenever you feel like it. But normally, if STMN makes it to the monthly finals, I'm rooting for them, so you can't call me biased. I love both of these teams. And this was a crazy match with both teams giving it their all, so let's get into it. So we're starting out this match with Heist, and I mean, this is off topic, but I love this woodland theme. It's super pretty, right? But anyway, back to the topic at hand. With Colette left open, JCT obviously decided to just go for it. Colette is such a solid choice in Heist, and while you could argue about whether or not she's the queen of Heist anymore because, well, Melody exists now, her hypercharged super melts the safe. In response, STMN decides to outrange her with both Belle and Nani. Belle doesn't do much damage to the safe, but she's great for defense on open long-range maps like this, and Nani will outrange pretty much everyone and can do a ton of damage to the safe as well, so both solid picks. Absolutely undeterred by the range of their opponents, JCT go with Sam, who, as you might have seen in my previous video, is pretty unstoppable in the hands of Second, especially against sharpshooters. They followed that up with Max because speed, when handled well, is a great way to deal with sharpshooters because it makes it much harder for them to hit their targets. Not to mention, a speed boost will help Sam make it to STMN's spawn to wreak havoc. Clearly concerned they would need help fending off Sam, STMN picks Griff, who can break down any walls Sam might try to hide behind and has the DPS in close range to delete pretty much any tank, including Sam. Essentially, he's like a money-obsessed Shelly who's also a very solid pick in Heist. While normally Heist is a very objective-driven mode, as in you just get to the safe and deal as much damage as possible to it, on this map, getting to the safe very much depends on winning mid control. This is why sharpshooters are extremely common on this map because they can stop pretty much everyone in their tracks. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go a tank or a mid-range brawler on this map though, it just means that things are going to be much more interesting if you do. You really have to work on your jukes and find a way to get to the sharpshooters or just sneak around them. This is where Sam's speed boost from his knuckles and Max's assistance with her super will come in handy. But yeah, if you're playing a tank on this map and you keep dying in the mid, that is normal. You will probably die a lot. But keep in mind that the objective of the game isn't to get damage or kills, it's to get to the safe. And while STMN is busy trying to fend off JCT, JCT has already done quite a bit of damage to the safe, while their safe has remained pretty much untouched. So if you're playing a tank, be annoying, distract your sharpshooting enemies, make their lives miserable, keep adding pressure, and eventually you'll break through their defense and make it to the safe. With Second being a Zeta spraying, crying pin distraction in STMN's spawn, it seems STMN has finally realized they are yet to do any damage to JCT's safe. Suns and Bobby finally go for the safe, but Jar must have called Bobby back to help him out with Second because only Suns really sticks around to do damage to the safe. And I mean, Nani is the brawler who can do real damage to the safe, so if anyone has to stay, it's him. You might be thinking that Second is just messing around here, but keep in mind that he's an objective player. He will always find a way to complete the objective, and that's what he's doing right now, believe it or not. Since his teammates are doing a great job fending off Bobby and Sans, his presence in STMN spawn means they can't really make a real push for a JCT safe until he's gone. You can't leave a tank on the safe. Now with mere seconds left on the clock, STMN have to either rush JCT's safe or defend theirs, and I guess they decided to try to defend theirs. Did not work out very well for them, did it? So it seems at the start of this game, STMN have a new strategy and are trying to switch up their lanes to deal with the menace that is Second on the Sam. Instead of gluing Griff to Sam, Bobby is now sniping from that corner patch of grass. He is one of the best sharpshooter specialists I've ever seen, and I've watched a lot of his games and content, especially when I was pushing Piper's Mastery title, but I've literally never seen him snipe from there before. If you guys can give me an example of another time he did, I'd love to see it, but this was a first for me. But that wasn't long-lived, seeing as they seem to have decided to blow up half the map, specifically every wall that Second needs to throw his knuckles against to heal up as he invades their spawn. Not sure it worked though, because Second got into their spawn anyway, but STMN have been doing plenty of damage to the safe this time around, so they clearly learned their lesson from last game, and have made damage to the safe a bigger priority this round. Despite Second's best attempts to be a lovable troll in their spawn, STMN seems to be mostly ignoring him and going in on his teammates instead, who are having a hard time with the 2v3. Second makes a play for the safe, I guess thinking they're distracted, but no. This is STMN we're talking about, no way they're really going to take an eye off of him. With Second joining the fight for the mid, Juan and Payne are standing a better chance, but time is running out and they're behind. Second heads back to STMN spawn again, but this strategy of keeping one eye on Second while going in on the safe seems to be working. Payne and Juan Carlos are having a hard time keeping Bobby and Sans at bay since they're massively outranged, and like I said, Bobby is one of the best sharpshooter specialists I know. It's clear from the last round that JCT needs to switch up their strategy a bit, but based on STMN's positioning, they're satisfied with how things worked out last game and have decided to go for the same strategy of breaking all the walls and putting Bobby on Second to keep him at bay in the early game. But I mean Second, by switching up your strategy, I didn't mean running face first into your counters. Bobby has planted a minefield of nest eggs for Second too, so I mean, I guess I get why he tried to kamikaze his way to the safe. While Second is having absolutely no luck breaking through STMN's defense this round, he has been enough of a distraction that Juan Carlos has managed to charge up Colette's hypercharge. If he can just get to the safe, he can melt it down low enough to give JCT the advantage. Colette's hypercharge definitely did its job, reducing the safe's health from 78% to 45%, putting JCT in a much better position. Now, hopefully, if they work together, Payne and Second can also get to the safe and do plenty of damage as well. Second got deleted again, but Payne has charged up Max's hypercharge. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, they might just have enough time to make one more successful run at the safe and snatch a win right out from under STMN. In general, Max may not do a ton of damage to save, she is a support brawler after all, but Hypercharge, she managed to knock another 10% off the save, with Second kamikazing his way in to throw his knuckles onto the save, and in general being a distraction. Pain can now take on the role of the spawn invading nuisance and distract STMN long enough to take the set. I mean, with these stats, if we were playing another mode like Bounty or Hot Zone, you'd be shocked to learn JCT won this, but again, keep in mind, Heist is an objective-heavy mode. If all of your damage is being directed towards your enemies and not the safe, it won't win you the game. With one set win under their belt, JCT must be feeling confident, but I was worried. They're stuck playing Dueling Beetles again, which, as I said in the last video, is just not their best map. To make matters worse, STMN first picked Angelo, which, from watching JCT scrims, I knew Bobby was absolutely deadly playing, so that didn't make me feel better. In response, JCT picked Max, which, all things considered, was actually a really good idea. Speed always is so useful in Hot Zone, and while Angelo is deadly when put in the right hands, like Bobby's hands, if he has a counter, I'd say speed is definitely it. They also picked Belle, who is definitely one of my favorites because she's a sharpshooter with control mechanics. I love my girl, but I was still on the fence about whether or not she'd be able to handle Angelo. They did buff her HP recently while they nerfed other sharpshooters' health like Piper's, but I wasn't sure that would be enough. Angelo is so scary in the right hands. STMN then picked Griff, who, as I said before, is one of the best tank counters in the game, who also happens to be super annoying in Hot Zone. His super covers the zone, meaning you can either team wipe or consistently force your enemies off of it. So even if JCT doesn't pick a tank, Griff will still be an annoying enemy to face. And then, as if to ensure JCT wouldn't dare pick Sam again, they also picked Charlie. So with two hard tank counters on their team, it doesn't matter how good Second is with Sam, he would just suffer the entire match. Also, my girl Charlie is incredibly good in Hot Zone, especially against single shot brawlers like Belle. Then in response, JCT picked my girl, Amber, who is a hard counter to Charlie, and in the right hands, and trust me, Pain's hands are those right hands, Amber can not only be an amazing damage dealer, but she's low-key one of the best controllers in the game, though most players don't realize that. As you can see, Amber's range is just long enough that she makes a really good mid on this map. While playing ladder or ranked, you might want to take her into a side lane because average players don't play games like pros do. Pros tend to stick to their clear-cut lanes, and on this map, the 3 lanes are pretty clear-cut. You have the mid, who stays in the grass, and the 2 range to flank outside the walls. The way pros play it means if your team can manage to win these 1v1 matchups, you can achieve mid control. But with Amber in the mid, she's able to do damage to all 3 lanes and burn the mid lane's grass, making it hard for the enemy team to make sneaky plays from the mid. Simply put, Amber is amazing at covering all 3 lanes, not just on this map, but on most Hot Zone maps, which is one of the reasons I love her so much. But since Charlie was having such a hard time playing into Amber, STMN switched lanes, which makes things a bit complicated for JCT. You don't really want to put either Belle or Max onto Charlie. Max can do okay, I suppose, but Charlie hard counters one-shot brawlers like Belle. Belle fares better than most because she doesn't have those 3 ammo bars like most sharpshooters do. She only has 1, so she doesn't really run out of ammo. She can be a pesky little bee in the enemy's bonnet and spam attacks. But playing into Charlie means that she has to kill all 3 spiders and then land a shot onto Charlie before she gets her supercharged shot, which is so annoying. Max 2 being the support brawler, you want her to charge up her super as often as possible, and if she's wasting ammo killing spiders, she can't do her job as well, so they really need to keep Amber on Charlie. But if you're good at aiming Charlie's super, Charlie can even shut down her biggest counters like Amber, which is another reason you want to keep Belle and Max very far away from Charlie. Amber has the range to prevent Charlie from charging up her super, but Max especially might get into Charlie's auto-aim sweet spot and feed her super, which she can then use on Amber, which then means life will be very hard for both Belle and Max until Amber can escape from her cocoon prison. While JCT all take turns dealing with Charlie, both sides are pretty neck and neck at this point, which means who wins the end game matchups will win the game. DPS and kills are obviously helpful, but playing for the objective in hot zone means getting good at your jukes and staying as healed up as possible. If you don't pay attention to that, you can let a winnable game slip through your fingers, unfortunately. I've mentioned before that I watch almost all of Second's scrims. As long as I'm aware he's scrimming, I'm spectating. Which means I've seen JCT scrims STMN a couple of times. That's the thing with these two teams, they tend to go back and forth. STMN will have a good game, then JCT will have a good game. If you ask Second, he'll claim that they stand no chance against STMN whatsoever, but from what I've seen during scrims, they very much do stand a chance a lot of the time. It's just all about their strategy and matchups, and more importantly, every member of JCT actually working together that determines whether or not they'll win. I know no one really asked me, but this is my video, so in my opinion, whenever JCT helps cover each other's lanes and work as a team, it's really easy for them to overcome whatever flaws they might have had in their draft. This is of course a problem a lot of newly formed teams have to overcome because they don't have the experience playing with each other that well-established teams like STMN do. So this is probably something that will work itself out eventually as long as JCT keeps working at it. But every member on Juan Carlos' team shines best when they're helping each other out. It's when they stick to the 1v1 lane mentality that they end up falling behind. And this match in particular is a perfect example of this. Teamwork really does make the dream work. One of the most satisfying things to see is that teamwork translating into momentum, which JCT can use to propel themselves forward into the next game. You can really see that momentum right here. JCT are working together and helping each other shine, which, oh my god, that's just so good to see. One thing I didn't realize I was missing from my life is Max giving Amber a speed boost. I actually discovered for myself how amazingly well Amber and Max synergize while playing in ranked last season. Against average players, the speed boost really helps Amber mow down her enemies, but since STMN doesn't generally miss their shots, Pain can't really try that without getting punished for it, sadly. But the thing is, STMN is one of the best teams to look to if you need an example of a team that has learned how to work together exceedingly well. Each member of STMN have their own strengths and weaknesses, but because they know each other so well, they're able to help each other shine while covering each other whenever needed, like, for lack of a better word, pros. JCT came into this game working together with their momentum driving them forward, but right now STMN is clearly rallying and finding their footing once more. Sans in particular is popping off on the Charlie, cycling supers, and keeping JCT's spawn trapped. With Bobby and Jar providing backup behind him and getting zone time, STMN held control of the mid and took the set. So yeah, with Bobby getting 12 kills, you guys see now why that pick scared me so much, right? But it's okay. New mode, new chance. And for this set, we're switching to a passive mode, Knockout. STMN get things started with Meg, who, as I said in the previous video, is a great choice in Knockout because both her gadgets and her mech give her much needed survivability. JCT then followed that up with Kit, who made me think, no, they aren't. They aren't doing that comp, are they? Then they picked Byron and I was like, they might be doing it. They might be doing that comp. Unsurprisingly, they went Piper because she is Bobby's comfort pick and he really is an amazing Piper. Then, just to be toxic, they went with the evil twins Larry and Lori. Speaking of toxic, JCT confirmed my suspicions. They went with the most toxic comp I have ever faced, the indestructible monkey and kitty comp. Now, story time! The first time I came across this comp, it wasn't a knockout, it was in Gem Grab. Minecart Madness to be exact, and that map is already evil. Don't know why they had to torture me with this comp too. If you use Kit's cheeseburger gadget, which helps him heal himself and the brawler he's attached to 40% more efficiently, and have him latch onto Miko's back, who is already a handful and sometimes downright impossible to kill all by himself, let alone with a kitty strapped to his back, they are absolutely indestructible. I was playing Piper when I was forced to face this comp, and I kid you not, I hit Miko 5 times and the monkey just wouldn't die. That paired with the Kit lobbing yarn balls at me kept us spawn trapped the entire game. It didn't help that the monsters running the comp had over 60k trophies and had pushed most of their brawlers to rank 35. Yeah, I got screwed over that game. Thanks, ranked. But as you can see, this comp paired with Byron is even more indestructible. They managed to take second down first round, which is why STMN managed to destruct the indestructible duo. But with Byron following the toxic pair around, there's very little that even a team who made it all the way to the World Finals can do about it. As you can see, as long as Kit is waiting with his super ready, he can jump on Miko's back whenever he needs assistance. From there, the feline monkeying around will be enough to smush even world-class pro players. Now, during this round, while STMN struggles not to get smushed, I wanted to give you guys an update on what I know you've been waiting for. The second is actually the best lovable troll spray and pin stats. I thought about counting his sprays and pins in the semifinals as well, but I mean, I hate math, so no. You can do that yourself, lazy. But here are the stats so far during this match. After all, that's why I know you're all here. It might surprise you that Zeta Sprays have surpassed the Protestos, but Protestos are for when he's really locked in, like in this round actually. But in the first set, while he was adding pressure like a good little Sam, he had a ton of time to spam Zeta Sprays and STMN spawn. In fact, he might have done more than that I just didn't see. But I also feel like he was using it to pump himself up too. Zeta pins were all moments when he was happy, usually when they're winning, and I mean, JCT just keeps winning, don't they? And the crying pin has made more appearances because just like back before he discovered the Protesto, it's one of his favorite ways to tease enemies when he's playing well or he's actually sad. One of the above. In this round, I actually felt bad for STMN. You can see they're so scared of this monkey with a cat riding on his back. They're all grouping up and you can see them flinching a little whenever Payne and Juan Carlos get too close for comfort. Yeah, this comp is just super broken, and I'm sure now that JCT used it in the monthly finals, more and more people are going to torment me with it in ranked. I guess I'm gonna have to ban Miko all the time now, aren't I? Well, with this broken combo, JCT were able to take this set in a very mischievous fashion. Talk about monkey business. Oh, what a slaughter! Poor STMN didn't stand a chance. Moving on to Gem Grab. If JCT can win this set, they'll have beaten not just one, but both of the titans of the North American region. JCT gets started with an Amber first pick, which, if you guys watched my Frost Queen video, you know I love her on this map. STMN then pick Max, who makes a great gem carrier and provides much needed speed in crucial moments throughout the game. They also pick Leon, who not only counters Amber being an assassin, he can be an absolute terror to the gem carrier, appearing out of nowhere to steal all the gems away. In response, JCT picked my girl Charlie, who is pretty broken in Gem Grab. Not only would she be able to shut down Leon if he surprised her, when she cocoons the gem carrier, it forces them to drop all of their gems so she can run off with them while her enemy remains trapped and helpless. JCT then rounded out their girl power draft with Lola, who is one of my personal favorite gem carriers because she can not only machine gun down anyone charging at her trying to steal the gems, with her sealed with a kiss star power, she can heal herself with her ego, which is an ability that always comes in handy while carrying gems. Finally, STMN seemingly wanted their term with the Sam. Tanks do provide a lot of pressure and can be a very annoying distraction in Gem Grab. I believe Bobby once mentioned, though I can't find the video to confirm, so if you guys know the video that I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments, that the job of the tank is to relieve pressure off of your team's gem carrier, force the enemy team to waste all of their gadgets and supers on the tank instead of using them to complete the objective. To start out, STMN picked lanes that I knew they were going to pick. Amber stands a better chance at gunning down Sam in the early game, while Charlie needs to charge up her super before she can start shutting him down. So Bobby targets second for an early kill so he can then terrorize Lola and Amber. Payne manages to snag a double kill when he goes down, but this set JCT back gem-wise. When Second charges up his first super, Bobby really has no way of getting to him again. So while STMN have the gem lead, JCT have been able to start picking up gems. If they have any hope of catching up though, Payne and Second need to make sure they lock down their lanes. I'm still so confused why Second mashed the purple button there. I'm not sure if it was intentional or a mistake, but usually when I accidentally hit Charlie's hypercharge and I have my super ready, I'll do my best to hit my target, but if no one is in range, I'll just use my super anyway to spawn the spiders. Those spiders are just as useful sometimes as her super, and I want to get value out of that hypercharge, so I'm genuinely curious why he held on to it. I'm guessing because he wanted to cocoon Bobby, but Bobby retreated into the grass, so he decided to hold on to it just in case. Is my guess. Since Bobby managed to take down Juan Carlos, the gems are now spread out amongst JCT. Payne is carrying a few and so is Second. Honestly, I don't think Payne should have picked up those gems. Amber is hard countered by assassins like Leon, and she really needs to see enemies coming in order to deal with them. Hopefully, if Sans on the Leon manages to steal those gems from Payne, Juan and Second will be able to deal with him before he manages to run away with their hard-earned gems. Or maybe Sam would steal them. Either way, not good. While they did manage to take out Sam, it was only a consolation prize, seeing as Jar had already made it safe and sound into STMN's spawn with all of the gems they needed, ensuring STMN would win the game. Hopefully, the state of spring means that JCT has learned from their mistakes last round and are more prepared this round. Never mind. Oof. But at least Juan Carlos does a good job of machine gunning Sam down, so definitely an improvement. But I've been there while playing Charlie. You have to charge her super up as soon as possible in the early game because the brawler she's supposed to counter can smush her before she has her super ready. With Max's bodyguards down for the count, Pain blows into STMN's spawn and steals gems away from Max. Now they're just one gem away from the countdown. Oh, except now there is a hypercharged Max allowing all of her scary teammates to charge at them full speed. Fun! Okay, is it just me or did STMN kind of throw just then? Dart definitely had enough time to scoop up their gems and book it out of there, right? Either they threw or, I guess, STMN being the sweet guys that they are, decided to give JCT a fighting chance. I hope it's the latter. That would be so cute if it were true. Okay, yeah. That time Bobby definitely did throw. He must have thought since they were grouped together he could use his gadget to get a double kill, but come on, Bobby, you know better than to do that while carrying gems. Okay, that last game JCT made some really great plays, but mostly they got lucky, so hopefully in this game they anticipate their enemies a bit better so they can take the set and win the monthly finals. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The game has just begun. STMN were definitely still up to their old tricks in the early game, but things are looking up with Juan being able to push into the mid with Lo's eco as backup. Once again, JCT are demonstrating how well they play when they work together, while STMN keep trying to come at them from all sides. Because JCT is working together and Pain is dropping amber puddles in the mid for some extra area control as good measure, JCT is staying firmly in control of the mid and picking up plenty of gems in the process. While STMN are trying to break into the mid, you can see JCT's momentum rising. They're getting so close to the countdown, they just need to keep working together. Despite having 3 world-class pro players coming at them with scary brawlers, Second still can't help but argue with Juan over who is better, SK or Zeta. Okay, I'll settle it for you guys. It's definitely Zeta. Now focus on gathering gems. Or I guess you could do both at the same time, I suppose. With JCT just 1 gem away from the countdown, Bobby decides to go in and try to steal some gems. Pain goes down, proving once more that Amber shouldn't carry gems. But this time, Second and Juan are much more prepared to cover for him, and they manage to grab the gems they need to start the countdown. But I'm begging you, Pain, stop picking up gems. Why won't he listen to me? Thankfully, with Second and Juan at his side, Pain manages to keep the gems safe, and though STMN fought so hard to get some gems back, JCT won the set and the monthly finals! Next time Second tries to say that Juan Carlos' team won't stand a chance against Stamina, I'm gonna show him these stats. It's clear that when JCT work together like they did in the last round especially, they have the potential to do great things. Once again, the viewers named Pain the MVP, and I mean, after watching him play Amber, I don't blame them. But I believe all 3 deserve to be called MVP if I'm being honest. Congratulations, JCT, well fought and well earned. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the final second has now proved he's literally the best in NA spray and pin final tally. He ended up with 92 Protestos, a perfect 100 Zeta sprays, don't know how he managed that one, 19 Zeta pins, and 8 crying pins. Honestly, I feel like Juan Carlos' team is just getting started. I am so excited to see if they can continue growing as a team and make it to the World Finals. If I'm being honest, I believe that they stand a good chance as long as they continue to learn how to work together as a team. If you like this video, definitely let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I also fully intend on making more videos like this whenever a crazy pro match attracts my attention, so subscribe if you want to be notified when I do. But until then, play later, guys. Mwah!